Well, good afternoon, good evening. Cattle Drive Live is back, Corey. Season 2, episode 30. How about that?
Golly, doesn't seem like we're that far into the year yet, but I guess we are.
I know. Last week we skipped out just a little bit. It was a holiday weekend. Everybody was going to be scattered, and we chose to check it to them for the week. But hey, this week we're back. Myself, Brett Carter, with Corey Thompson. Paige is with us back here, making us all look good. Lacey's, I'm not really sure where she's tonight. Um, well, hey, we've got a good one. College football is here. Sale season, Corey, is officially underway. This past weekend was a good one. It's just going to ramp up from there. Like I said, college football's here. Sale season's here. This is my favorite time of the year, man.
They are operating on all cylinders this week and for the next from here on out really till April they'll be going full bore.
Right.
Boy, the sales that have happened have been hot and quality dang sure is bringing worth its weight in gold this year.
Oh yeah, no, and we're going to get into a few of these herd reports here in just a minute. I mean, hey, right out of the gate, these guys afraid to buy them, are they?
No, no, not at all, not at
Hey, what
all.
about you? You're in a bed right now for some sale seed talent. Have you been on the road yet through the South Dakota cruise?
Yep, yep. I got a couple days under my belt. Just started kind of searching around. Like to hit up customers and friends, and yeah, if you're not on my Snapchat, usually try to do a little Snapchat on highlights in people's pastures and stuff. And some people get a kick out of them. Some people probably find them annoying.
That's just part of it. How many? Tell me, I've really never had the chance to go up there and go just drive around at those things.
Yep.
How many? How many of those pasture sales will happen between the first to the month of
Yeah.
September? How many pastures are we talking about?
I would say in South Dakota, there'll be, I'm just shooting from the hip here. I'm going to say you could hit 60 pastures, and those sales will happen in 10 days.
Ah, my gosh. The
Yeah.
majority of those, are they still private treaty? Do they use a lot? Do they
You know,
utilize some sell platforms?
I'd say 50-50. Yep. About 50% are online, 50% are just the old phone bid off sales.
Good. Kent Jaecke's going to be with us later today. I want to get his take on some of that stuff. I know he makes a lot of those pasture stops selling the juice in the spring, and so I wonder if he gets a chance to go back through there and see some of those cattle the
Oh, yeah.
second time or visit with those guys. I'm looking forward to visiting with him. But hey, let's just dive right into this week's segment one, the coffee shop. What is some big news traveling the circuit right now, Corey?
Oh, you just you hear about a show heifer here or steer there. You're starting to they're starting to get to be a little hype surrounding some of these sales and individuals in these sales. Um, Tim Schaefer's sale kicked off. It closed last night, I believe.
Yep.
That's kind of one of the first big uh, phone bid sales, I guess, if you will. So yeah, as them prices start coming in and just more chatter gets going and just kind of builds.
Yeah, you bet. I'll tell you some other big news that happened this week that was floating the channels. Kent Jaecke is officially a Cowboys fan.
I seen that on Facebook. He was quick
Yeah,
to apologize
yeah,
to the Sea of Purple there in Manhattan,
right.
but he was clearly at the Cowboys game rooting for the guys in orange.
Yeah, that's right. We'll sure have to get his take on what it's like to be a Cowboy fan. It'll be too long. He'll figure out. He'll either be Pistol Pete or he'll be riding Bullet, one of the two, before it's all said and done. But anyway, no. Tim Schafer's deal closed last night. The bid board was something that was kind of fun to look at through the past 2 weeks. You know, those watching those things climb. But Yeah, the last I saw, there was a Hoodaman Limflex female that would look 120,000 for a half interest. So
Yeah.
that
Yep.
was quite
It's going to be
unique.
pretty wild.
Right. Hey, this week, as you can tell, surrounding us here on the Cattle Drive, Minnaert Show Cattle opted to utilize some Cattle Drive Live marketing, and his fall production sale will close today, September the 12th, happening at SC Online Sales, Corey.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is another sale that people look to kind of set the trend for the year. No doubt about it. People follow Jason and his bulls and his breeding program. A great job he does. I'll be anxious to see. Looks like he's got same qualities that he always, people have come to expect from him. Be fun to watch that sale tomorrow night.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah, no, there's no doubt. Jason's kind of got things headed his direction. He utilizes his own bulls, and they're bulls that they had quite a bit of success with. So it's good to see, as you can tell there. I think it's multiple breeds, multiple sires. There's steers, there's heifers. Knowing him, he's going to sell you some semen, some embryos, spare tire, something. I was looking more forward to a video of Nelson England and some pull-ups as a return favor, but I didn't see any of that. I'm guessing Nelson's just not, well, what we think he is.
Yeah,
So
that was good stuff.
yeah, that really was.
Nelson, I'd be watching my back. That Jason's gonna have the camera on him, I bet.
Yeah, no. Hey, he's going to stay busy for just a little while counting his money. He had quite the sale there on Steer Bidder a week or so ago. But good luck to Jason. If you haven't checked out Minnaert Show Cattle, do it tonight on Show Circuit Online Sales, Minnaert Show Cattle. And so, thanks to Jason for utilizing us for a marketing avenue. But hey, let's dive in this herd report powered by our friends at CCI Live. Christy and her crew do such a good job from sale management standpoint. If you need help with your sale, whether it is online bidding, viewing, they set up a sale page for you. It is an experience like no other. They help you get your cattle marketed. They take care of the bookwork when it's over, if that's what you'd like for them to do. Contact Darla at the office, 402 643 8122. Let Darla get you headed in the right direction with CCI.live. And so, Corey, last week, Nelson England fires off with a drive marketing first one of the year. We had two of them that week, Nelson England and Curly Cattle. Tell me how those sales ended up.
Yeah, that Nelson's that he sells 32 head, and that sales grossed 487,000, averaged right at 15,000. The high lot in Nelson's sale was actually that key female show heifer, and she brings 56,000. And then the Curly Cattle, Maddie Curly out there in California, she had 9 head in that sale and grossed 136,700. She also grossed right at $15,000 average, and she had that silver Here I Am extra special steer that was awful popular, brings 59,900.
Yeah, those two sales there. I mean, that was. I mean, I don't know. Is it you never know. Is it good to be first, or is it good to let someone else get out there? But I would say those were two of the first quality sales to hit the market, and as you can tell, they averaged up good. The quality was good also, but they sold
Yep,
fire some good ones.
they were wild.
Yep, you bet. Hey, CCI, they send us some stuff here. Riverbend Ace happened this last week too. 40 lots gross 671,500 to average 16,077. The Ankeny crew down in Georgia, 36 lots, Corey, gross 1,349,500, average 37,486. They sell three bulls that day that gross 565,000, average 188,300. Sell 33 females that day, 784,500 to gross 32,772 biggins.
Angus
Man,
is strong.
I'd say something is strong. I don't know what it is, but it is strong. And so I told you a little bit ago we had a test, and I don't know if it's even possible if we could play the famous video. I love the video, the old squeaky wheeled car. Where in the world? Beep, beep. What are you doing? Shooting the kitty?
I'm home.
You're home.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hi,
Sitting
Jake.
on my couch watching the Cowboys get their butts kicked.
Oh yeah, that's. Hey, you need to clarify which Cowboys in there, big shooter.
The bad Cowboys south of us.
Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha.
I hope Van Hove is watching.
Oh man. Hey, it's good to have you back, man. You've been MIA lately. I know you've been busy. We've been in different directions. It's finally nice to gather back up here. We were in the middle of some herd report going on, and I believe you were at the Kate's Crew and Cornerstone. Tell us how those two sales went.
Yeah, see that's I was actually back there the whole week. Videoed all the Kate's heifers for them. This is the first year they've ever videoed them all. So they videoed all their show heifers. Anyway, we sell 29 shorthorn and shorthorn plus lots. Gathered up 965,000, averaged 33,275. 15 Angus heifer calves averaged 31,750, and the 45 open heifers grossed 1,287,500 to average 28,611.
Holy smokes!
I mean, it was just craziest thing. That some of the highlights, the Lot 8 heifer, purebred shorthorn heifer. She was a old red night heifer. It was actually an embryo that they had purchased a bunch of embryos from Sully, and so this goes back to that Lady Crystal cow family that was so popular, here 10 years ago. Okay. This heifer brings 150,000, and goes to a family right there in Indiana that will campaign that heifer, and then a shorthorn plus, the Lot 9 heifer. She was a Conley Express daughter, and I mean incredible. Incredible built female, maybe as good a female as they've ever raised there on that farm. She brings 140,000. And then the top selling Angus went to a family in Ohio. She was a On Point. Of course, On Point was a bull that we sold at the Embryos on Snow in Denver one year for like 150,000 for half. And the Nickel family in Kansas bought him, raised right there at Sunrise Sunset Farms. That female was out of a Bismarck cow. She brings 90,000. She goes to a family in Ohio. So, wow. I mean, it was just strong all day. I mean, just biggest crowd they've ever had. Absolutely. I mean, just capacity crowd. Matter of fact, I normally walk behind the stands, behind the bleachers to get to my post for the sale. And there were so many people, I couldn't get my big, large body through the crowd. So I had to go all the way around to come in the out gate to get through, to even get to where I took my post. So it was just crazy, and had a huge crowd the night before. So anyway, the total sale grossed 1,550,315 for the Cates family, and Tyler and Courtney now are kind of in charge. I mean, they've kind of taken over that program. Randy and Brian have kind of officially retired. Mm-hmm. And so this was really the first year that Tyler and Courtney were the kind of the owners, proprietors. and of course, did a great job like always. And this was their 38th sale, and this was my 35th one. So
Really?
it's the longest running sale that I do a year. And of course, great friends, and I'm so happy that they had such success. Then that evening, Cornerstone Farms, which is Jason Newcomb. Jason's been a long-time supporter of the Cates Farms, and he has bought the best females out of that sale for years. Had his very first live production sale. He sells 27 open heifer calves for $359,500 to average $13,314. So for a guy's very first sale, I know he was nervous about having it, but it was just a great evening for him. He ended up having 34 total lots, averaged 11,479. So it was a Cody Louderman sold both those sales, and he was packing up his stuff to leave to go home. And he said, "Man, I'm tired." I said, "Well, for a guy that just made $19,641 in one day, I think you can afford to get a hotel if you get too tired." So, I mean, that was in that little old county. We did almost $2 million in sales in that one county that day. So it was good.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good.
That's awesome.
So you're back home.
Yep.
You have landed home now, as in Stillwater, and we were joking earlier that your Snapchat and your social media showed your presence yesterday at your. What did you say? It was your first ever Oklahoma State Cowboys football game?
No, my first Oklahoma State Cowboy football game wearing orange.
Wearing orange, okay.
I've been to three. That was my fourth game in that stadium, and I've never seen my team that I was rooting for lose, if you know what I mean.
I know. Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, I've been to 3 K-State Oklahoma State games, and K-State's always beaten them every time I've gone. So last night, I was rooting for the Pokes,
And
they won.
Rooting for the Pokes. I got you.
Yeah.
Man.
So
what
yes,
about it, Corey?
I took in all the festivities. I went to tailgating. I went to the game, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. What do you got coming next here, Jake? You got some more sales on the horizon?
Oh yeah, starting the 1st of October, I will have 2, and most of the time, most weekends, 3 sales every weekend. So this next week, I'm going to take off and head north to Nebraska and work my way across to Iowa. Going to go back to Indiana again for a wedding next weekend for Jesse Hovland and Claire Trenopole. And then I've got a sale the next night for Johnny Johnson. Triple J Farms is going to have a live club calf sale at his farm. And so Colonel Baum and I are going to do that sale next Sunday night. And then I'll probably just stay in Nebraska and South Dakota and go look at babies. So, I do get a chance to go around the country and, make all these herd visits. But more importantly, I love to see the results, and I love to see, how certain matings work. And the best way to do it is to go to these pasture sales. I know Corey said you can go to 60 pastures, and you can literally go in 10 days or, even 5-6 a week's time, 7 days. And you can see most of them, because it's so cool to drive down the road. And here's a mobile home sitting on the side of the road with a mailbox nailed to the post, and it's got sale sheets in it. And there's 4 or 5 four-wheelers sitting there, or side by sides. There's coolers sitting there. You can grab you a cold beverage, jump on a four-wheeler with a sheet, and go look at the babies and be out of there in 15, 20 minutes and go to the next place. And you can do that every day for a week. And it is absolutely one of the greatest environments. If people have never gone to South Dakota and Nebraska to see in Minnesota too, Iowa sales a lot of them are going to be finishing up here this week. A lot of them. Well, I know Brad Smith, I think, ends this week at end of the week or something. But I went to a lot of them back in Indiana. A lot of them back in Indiana and Ohio, I went through. In Illinois, I went through a lot of those sales when I was back there. So I was gone for 2 weeks, so I looked at a lot of calves back there.
Yeah, they say you just drive up to a gate. Like you said, there's multiple four-wheelers, UTVs, ATVs, a mailbox, all the literature. not a soul around. You may run into another guy, but you're not going to usually run into that owner. You just go look at them at your own pace. You come back, make your notes, and roll on to the next one. And
Right.
Yeah, they got mailboxes on the fence posts there. I went to 10 on Friday, and I only talked to one owner the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
You
funny
just-
story. And I won't tell you who tells the story. Those of you that know the story, you'll know who. He said they were up there one time and they drove by this guy's place, and the owner, well, Corey, I think you may tell me the story. The owner was there each time they drove by, and they did not want to have to talk to him. So they would drive by and he wasn't there. So these two guys, two traders, pull in. So they jumped on this four-wheeler and just drove as fast as they possibly could to the backside. They drove through this guy's calves and then hauled ass back out there as fast as they could. And he said when they got back to the gate, said the owner of that place was leaned up on the gate. And said, anyway, what do you think of my calves? And I won't finish the complete story, but he said that that was how it is up there. Is you have the luxury of going and looking at a guy's work, his year-long work, cultivating the one pasture, and a lot of them guys won't even visit with the guy about those cattle. It's just those cattle have to stand on their own merit in those 2 weeks' time to get bought, and it don't matter the 360, 350 days prior to, them guys that are there buying them are buying that. That's it. I just think that's very unique. Coming to see that guy who really enjoys visiting with somebody and telling that story of that calf or that cow. So,
well, the good thing too about that, and Corey will test to this, none of these calves are weaned. So, I mean, like you can go out in these pastures. A lot of these guys will save a pasture. So they'll keep cattle off the pasture and they'll go out there and they'll mow strips. So they'll mow a big, like checkerboard strips in these pastures. So you can walk those calves into some short grass, see their feet, be able to see them because they're belly deep grass. I mean, a lot of them are, if they, of course, this year it's not because
this year
they haven't had much rain, but I mean, like, I know Robbie doesn't put cattle on that front pasture where he keeps all them cows and calves all year. So he's got a nice pasture there for them babies and his cows, but none of them are weaned. So those calves are in their natural environment.
right.
Very few of them even clip them. I mean, some of them do, but they'll shape them up a little bit, but they don't cut much hair off.
Right. Yeah. But those cattle better be good. I mean, there's no way around it. Those when those guys are through there, the cattle better be on their A game for 8 or 10, 12, 14 days in a row to see that many eyes, to get moved that much. That's impressive. So
Jaecke, what do you got going on at G-Bar this time of year?
Well, a lot of things are going on at the G-Bar. I try to stay away because there's a lot of work going on. But there's right now we got a lot of the heifer calves weaned, and they're on creep feeders right now. We're getting all the kind of the consignment calves in. We got a few more to get in, but not many more. We've got roughly 80 calves on feed right now, and we'll cut that down to about 60. All the bred heifers have been pretty much sorted and identified which ones we're going to have for bred heifers. We're going to have about 285 of them for this classic. And then we're going to have another 150 cows. And those cows have been identified from preg checks. Then those cows will be moved.
Whoops.
There I am. And then those cows then have been, after preg checks, will then go back and we'll put them into those pens. So like we've got right across the road from the old show barn is kind of the development center for the cows and the bred heifers. And so we'll have all those then put in place here pretty shortly and start feeding them. And then we're going to have a frozen classic again on Friday night. So it'll be I think the 16th of December. On that Friday evening, we'll feed everybody that night and we'll have the frozen classic. And I've been starting to gather all those genetics up I pretty much got it pretty much nailed down to what I want, but some of that may shift a little bit. But I'm going to try to have about 40 lots of embryos, 10 semen lots. So I'll have about 50 lots to sell the evening before. Don't want to keep people there a long time, but we do want to highlight our customers' genetics. Mostly, we'll have a few things from Griswold, but mostly it's all customers' genetics, cattle that have been purchased from Griswold or people that have used our genetics to generate these embryos. So
Awesome.
and then I'm going to get out back on the road when I get home. Like in the fall, I come home usually every weekend. So, or after every weekend, I got sales every weekend, but I usually come home during the week. And on some of those weeks, I'm going to take off and go through Oklahoma and Texas and call on some of these guys for fall breeding too. So it's just getting to be a busy time. My golfing season's about over and vacation's about over. I did go golf today and shot the best round I've shot all year was today. So it was fun.
Awesome. Hey, you talked about getting the cattle sorted for the classics and you talked about identifying things. What, in terms of identifying sire groups of the classic, has any of that started to, have you even had a chance to look at sire groups quite yet of what?
Well, yeah, we're gonna have a really good group of Garth daughters again this year. In the main side of it, there'll be a few data banks again this year. John used data bank a little harder here a couple of years ago, so we'll have some of them. We're really excited about having the service sires. You know, we're going to have a lot of these cattle bred to Old Money. A lot of these cows are going to be carrying service to Old Money, which is our Garth Boston son. We're pretty excited about that. Of course, the County O daughters all across the country this year, probably more than ever, have been even as good as I've ever seen. And so we're going to have a pretty good number of County O daughters we're going to sell that'll be coming into production next spring. On the Simmental side, and of course, we're going to have a lot of those cows that in the sale, the semis are going to be bred to Bet on Red, Bank on It, some of these newer bulls that we've got, and then private stock too, which is a new bull that we've got, the new copacetic son that we've had at 605. Matter of fact, he was the very first bull ever to go on the sexing machine, right, Corey?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that bull is going to be pretty prevalent in the breeding on the sire breeding side of it. So, hey, we're excited about the offering. We feel like we've got as good and of course, these good times, these Angus calves all across the country. Like Brad Smith's got this killer good times heifer that's getting a lot of attention at his sale. Jake Cunningham got a good times heifer to Bob May that I thought was as good as I saw it this spring. He's placed her in a really good family. I don't know what she brought, but she had to have been high. That was a good one. And then just kind of a little bit of a teaser, we're going to have Good Times Full Sister in the sale as a heifer calf. And then we've got a Good Times heifer from Stagmeyer's that's coming too. So we're pretty excited about the Good Times cattle. I've seen a lot of good ones this year already, but people are really loving these calves, and he's going to be a big seller for me this fall and next spring again. So we're pretty excited about that bull.
Good deal. It's always exciting time of the year. Corey and I have talked about it. Seems like for a month now. Get the sale season. Seems like it can never get here fast enough, and then all of us are so excited when it's finally behind us. But there's no doubt. Looking forward to sale season. Looking forward to the classic is always a highlight of everybody's fall. So
yeah. And hey, it's just like I said, it's usually the last one of the year or one of the last ones of the year. And so we don't get too worried about getting cattle fed, push them too hard right now. But that's the beauty part about it is, I mean, we got time. So, but the crew they're in full swing. Like I said, I try to stay out of the way.
The question is Garrett going to be able to put any horn cattle in the classic?
I don't know if he'd sell any.
I'm going to have to get on him because I think it's time to him start spreading those genetics out here because that kid's been working hard at it.
Well, I actually had a family come this summer and wanted a tour. So I give them a tour of the ranch and take them out through the donors, and I took them into a couple pastures where babies were. And then when I took them into the donors, of course, Garrett's cows are in the donors. And you can throw people a pretty good loop when you pull in there. You know, you start talking about, here's a daughter of 50, 66, and here's a full sister, blah, 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 and here's this. And we got all these big-time donor cows in there, and then here's all these big buck and bull horn cows. And I don't say a word. I let them say something.
Right.
And then you have to explain that this is Garrett's herd. So
right, there you go. Good deal. Well, Jake, it was good having you on. You take care on the road, and we will be catching up with you a lot more frequent now that we're in sale season.
All right, buddy. Hey, one more thing. Go Cats. Go Pokes.
Oh, man.
See ya.
See ya. Oh, man. He enjoys life, doesn't he?
Oh, man. He sees a lot.
Yeah, you bet you. Hey, let's wrap this thing up. Segment 6, Corey, Cattlemen's for Christ, is James 1:19 this week. And I think it's fitting for this time of year. Let everyone be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. So I think that that's very fitting for this time of year because people can get on edge. And so, yeah. But anyway, James 1:19. So anyway, well, hey, Corey, man, it was good visiting with you this week.
You bet. Good visiting with you, Brett.
You bet. Is everything good with you, health-wise? Talk to us real quick. Update.
Yep. Good. I got to go back in for a doctor's appointment this week. Just do a little checkup, and then I think I got another 3 weeks before they do the full PET scan deal and kind of hopefully give me a clean bill of health. So.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, hey, you take care this week, and I know we've got some drives planned for the week, so I'll be catching up with you in the middle part of the week.
All right.